Imagine an entire kingdom destroyed in just 2 hours. The devastation was swift and absolute. A young king, barely 20, dies in a muddy river. His army is shattered. His nation left defenseless and in ruins. This is not a legend, this is history. A tragic chapter in the annals of time. This is the real story of the Battle of Mohács, the day the Ottoman Empire wiped Hungary off the map, faster than anyone thought possible. Welcome to SB Tells, where we bring you the most shocking, suspenseful, and emotional true stories from history. Today we dive into one of the fastest and most devastating defeats in European military history. A battle that didn't just change Hungary, it changed the future of Europe. This is the speedy Ottoman victory at the Battle of Mohács, a military masterstroke, a royal tragedy, and the fall of a kingdom in just 2 hours. The year is 1526. Europe is tense, fragmented, and on edge. The Ottoman Empire is on the rise, surging through the Balkans, its eyes set on the heart of Europe. By the early 1500s, the Ottoman Empire was a dominant force across 3 continents. While Europe fractured from internal conflicts, the Ottomans grew stronger, politically, militarily, and economically. Their rise wasn't sudden, it was strategic. With unified leadership and advanced warfare tactics, the empire began expanding westward, aiming its sights at the heart of Christian Europe. Leading this charge is none other than Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Brilliant, bold, and relentless. Suleiman wasn't just a warrior, he was a master planner. Known as the lawgiver, he expanded Ottoman laws, arts, and warfare. Under his leadership, the empire reached its peak. Brilliant, bold, and ruthless, Suleiman launched campaigns not just for land, but legacy. When he turned toward Hungary, it wasn't random, it was the next step in empire building. Suleiman dreams of dominating Central Europe, and his next target is the Kingdom of Hungary. Hungary, once a proud medieval power, is crumbling. Its king, Louis II, is just 20 years old. Inexperienced and overwhelmed, Louis struggles to unite his nobles and raise an army. Hungary was the key to Central Europe, a vulnerable gateway. Once powerful, it had declined under weak leadership and internal divisions. Suleiman knew that Hungary, if conquered, would open the path to Vienna and beyond. The Ottomans didn't just want victory, they wanted to break the Christian resistance in one swift, symbolic, and strategically vital blow. His country is broke, divided, and unprepared. Yet when news arrives that the Ottomans are on the march, Louis chooses to confront them head-on. Hungary was fractured, broke, and politically unstable. King Louis II, only 20, struggled to unite nobles who refused to cooperate. Their army was outdated, their resources thin. As the Ottomans marched in formation, Hungary scrambled in chaos. No reinforcements came from Europe. The kingdom was on its own, unready for the storm rapidly approaching from the south. In the spring of 1526, Suleiman begins his campaign. The Ottoman army is vast, estimates range from 60,000 to over 100,000. It includes elite janissaries, disciplined cavalry, and powerful artillery. The Ottoman army's march was a display of power. Bridges were built, roads cleared, and every movement was precise. They didn't just arrive, they swept in like a machine. With over 60,000 troops, cannons, and elite units, they approached Mohács with discipline and confidence. Hungary didn't just face an invasion, it faced a military masterpiece in motion. Unlike the fractured forces of Europe, Suleiman's military is coordinated and efficient. Suleiman's army was modern and ruthless. Janissaries were elite soldiers trained from youth. Artillery units were deadly and efficient. Cavalry moved with speed and precision. The Ottomans didn't fight with brute force alone, they fought with coordination and strategy. While Hungary argued over orders, the Ottomans executed theirs with perfect discipline. That made all the difference. As they march through Serbia and into Hungarian territory, panic spreads. Louis scrambles to gather his army, but support from fellow European powers? Non-existent. The Pope offers prayers but no troops. The Habsburgs hesitate, Hungary stands alone. By late August, the Ottomans reach the vast plains near the small town of Mohács, ready for battle. The battlefield is wide, open, and deadly, perfect for the powerful Ottoman artillery. Suleiman prepares his forces with meticulous precision and strategic planning. He places his weaker troops in the center, cannon in front, and hides his elite cavalry in the tall grass on the flanks. He wants the Hungarians to charge, falling right into his well-laid trap. King Louis falls for it. Desperate to strike first, Louis orders a full assault on the Ottoman center. At first it works. The Hungarian knights smash through the front lines, cheers erupt, victory seems within reach. But then, the trap springs shut. From both sides, hidden Ottoman cavalry charges, artillery thunders, janissaries rain down gunfire. The Hungarian army is crushed from three sides. The entire battle lasts just 2 hours. Hungarian forces are overwhelmed, slaughtered, and scattered. Thousands die in minutes. The battlefield becomes a blood-soaked grave. King Louis tries to escape the carnage, but as he rides, his horse stumbles into a marshy stream. Trapped in his heavy armor, the young king drowns, alone. By sunset, the Hungarian army is no more. Nobles, bishops, generals dead. The kingdom's leadership wiped out in one stroke. Suleiman doesn't stay long. He enters Buda, Hungary's capital, finds it abandoned, and burns what he can. Then he leaves, dragging captives and loot. Hungary is now leaderless. Chaos erupts. Two rival claimants to the throne plunge the country into civil war. And in the shadows, the Habsburgs and Ottomans prepare to divide Hungary like spoils of war. The once mighty kingdom is carved into three pieces: Ottoman Hungary in the south, Habsburg Hungary in the north and west, and a semi-independent Transylvania. Hungary's defeat wasn't just about numbers, it was about failure. The failure to reform the military was a critical misstep. There was also a failure to build alliances, which left them isolated, and perhaps most crucially, there was a failure to understand modern warfare. The Hungarian knights were still charging like it was the 1400s, against cannons. Suleiman, on the other hand, had embraced gunpowder, discipline, and strategy. Europe watched the defeat in shock. But they didn't learn quickly. The same mistakes would echo in future battles for centuries. In Hungary, Mohács became more than a battle. It became a scar, a symbol of loss, betrayal, and broken pride. Even today, Hungarians say, "More was lost at Mohács." It's a phrase used when things go horribly wrong. It reminds them of the moment when everything collapsed. To Hungarians, the battle is not just history, it is a living memory. It is pain, memory, and a warning for future generations. What happened at Mohács didn't stay confined within Hungary. It sent shockwaves through Europe, altering its course. The Ottomans now had a foothold deep in the European continent. The Habsburgs scrambled to fortify their vulnerable borders. The Protestant Reformation, already underway, grew in the chaos of Catholic collapse in the east. Suleiman would later march on Vienna. Scene 2, Frontier of Islam and Christianity. The frontier of Islam and Christianity moved deeper into Europe. This was more than just a battle. It was a turning point. The death of a king, the fall of a kingdom, the rise of an empire. And it all happened in 2 hours. Now let's delve into the Battle of Mohács. The Hungarian forces, led by King Louis II, numbered around 25,000 soldiers. They included knights, infantry, and a few cannons. The Ottoman Empire, commanded by Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, had around 100,000 men. This included elite janissaries, cavalry, and artillery. The battlefield was the plains of Mohács, favoring the Ottomans. The Hungarians positioned themselves in a single-line formation. The Hungarian cavalry charged fiercely, initially pushing the Ottomans back. However, this success was short-lived. Suleiman had orchestrated a strategic feint, drawing the Hungarians into a trap. Hidden Ottoman artillery and janissary units then encircled the Hungarians. Key figures included Pál Timori, leading the Hungarians, and Suleiman's commanders like Ibrahim Pasha. The aftermath was catastrophic for Hungary. King Louis II perished and the kingdom was left leaderless. Suleiman's victory reshaped Central Europe's political and religious landscape. The Battle of Mohács marked the beginning of Ottoman influence in Hungary. The echoes of this battle can still be felt in the region's culture and history today. If this story moved you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to SB Tells for more forgotten truths, dramatic tales, and hidden history that changed our world. Because sometimes, the fastest battles leave the deepest wounds.